Outdoors. We're talking 2A and we're talking training. And specifically, we're talking about training for the ladies. And I think that's great, Bo, because we've had a guest on before who traveled out of state to get some of that training. But it's important to know it's available right here at home.
It really is. And the story that always comes to mind for women who carry guns that are not trained, there's a story of somebody that I know that I was at my poker bash last year, and we were raffling off guns. You were there.
I was there.
And she goes, "Oh, I have a concealed carry already." And I was like, "Oh, cool." And she wanted to show it to me. So she opens up her purse and showed it to me. I said, "Wow." I said, "How often have you gone out shooting that?" And she goes, "I've never shot it." I was like, "Oh my gosh."
I remember that.
Get rid of that.
I remember that.
Get it out of your purse. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, it is so important for men and women. And if you identify with an umbrella, that you need to train too.
Let's talk to my friend Elizabeth Starks. She is one of the trainers at the Range St. Louis West out in Baldwin, and it's always great to get her on here on Manchester Road there. And Elizabeth, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Good. Great to get you back on the radio. I had you on my show earlier this week, which gave me the idea that, you know what, Elizabeth needs to come on and talk to our audience on Second Amendment Radio because you gave us such great information. And tell us a little bit about your approach to training, specifically the classes you have that are focused on women.
Yeah. So really the curriculum is the same as my co-ed classes. And so we cover all the same materials, but we do definitely talk more deeply about some topics. I think it's assumed that a woman can pick up a gun or any defensive tool for that matter and, use it the same way as a man would typically look at a tool like that. I think it's normal for men to pick up a tool like that and just, send lead down range. Easy day.
Yeah.
I think women have a little bit more of an apprehension to a different mindset that we have to overcome.
Yeah. Do you get that feedback from people? I mean, what are some of the concerns that people raise? Let's say in your first time gun owner class, for if it's a women's only class.
Mostly a lot of them have never even seen a gun before.
Wow.
Like in person, and if they have, it's just a scary thing. And I bring up the fact a lot that if you consider all the movies and TV and media and everything, you rarely see someone shooting a gun for fun. And it's hard to learn something, especially something that's capable of lethal force, envisioning someone at the end of your barrel. So I try to remove the scary aspect of it and try to put my passion into my teaching so that women can also realize that it's a fun thing to do, because training is so important. And if it's a terrifying thing, you're not going to train. And if you don't train, then if a critical situation does happen, that's terrible. So I just try to put a spin on it to make it a less scary thing and a more fun thing. The self-defense mindset is a completely different topic, and then shooting guns is its own topic.
Elizabeth, Bo Matthews here. I heard your conversation on 2A Tuesday, and it was fantastic. You do teach co-ed classes. Is it really the majority of women can shoot straighter, more accurately than men generally, would you say?
I've heard that from so many people, instructors as well. I don't really think so. I think that women and men both have their own attributes for this, and I think women think more deeply about it, so they're a little more open-minded to, hearing, and I honestly wouldn't even say that. I've been actually pleasantly surprised that I can pretty much talk to anybody that I'm teaching, and everybody's open-minded and taking what I'm having to say, and I just think that we do it differently. We take a different route. We all get from A to C, but how we get use B in there is just a little bit different. Whether we think different and it takes us more time to put more rounds down range more accurately, or we get more rounds on target, just sheer quantity. So I think women shoot less and take their time more. Men maybe shoot a little bit faster and go that route. So I don't know. It's just a very interesting thing.
Well, I bring it up because my wife is an excellent shot. I mean, just out of the gate, she picked up a pistol and bam, she was right on target. I was like, wow, you were like a natural. You're like Annie Oakley over here. And so I've always thought that, and I thought it was because guys were just like, we can do this, and they're that's why they want the bigger clips so they can so they can eventually hit the target. But when you do your classes, do you also do self-defense type of stuff even without firearms, or is it strictly firearms training that you guys do?
Yes, we do self-defense minded classes. One of them that comes to mind is our college student awareness class, safety class. And while it's named to be geared towards college student, it's definitely a great class for anybody to take. We use a lot of information in there that comes from a very popular book by Gavin DeBecker called The Gift of Fear. And we take some of those concepts and apply them to real life situations and are able to have, conversations with people about certain situations in their life they've never been, really aware of. Like, oh, I didn't realize that's what was happening. And, it just kind of opens your mind a little bit. The self-defense minded aspect of that is a part of it. And then also our CCW class is really, the shooting is minimal. The beginning of the class, we definitely talk about guns. And then the latter half, we talk about legal stuff. But there's a lot in there specifically just about self-defense and just that mindset. I think self-defense is more a mindset than anything. It's not, the tool that you use or, what you do with your hands or anything like that. That's part of it, but really the mindset and how you're going to react in those critical situations, I think are super important topics that we tend to cover in our classes.
Yeah, it's true. We're talking to Elizabeth Stark. She's one of the trainers at the Range St. Louis West, 14803 Manchester Road out there in Baldwin. And, I would say when it comes to campus safety, because I've had two kids go through school now, my biggest concern for both of them, and I know you guys teach this in this class, is situational awareness. Because if you're walking down the street anywhere and your head is buried in a cell phone and you're not paying any attention to what's going on around you, that's problem number one, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely got to keep your head out of your phone. And it's not that you have to be paranoid, but the phone has changed our lives so much. And the people that do have their heads down on their phone, don't really care about everybody else. But the criminals or the people that might want to take advantage or, victimize you or violently attack you or just steal your purse or your whatever, they're not keeping their heads in their phone. They're the ones that are looking around, paying attention, and they're going to pick the easiest victim. And the victim that has their head in their phone, not paying attention to their surroundings and coming up and, close to them, you just don't even realize it. So the phone has a huge role to play in our lack of awareness, and we talk about that heavily.
Yeah, that's so true because people use their phones to not engage with people. They'll just, I'm busy looking at my phone or I'm busy on my phone. And that's the worst place to be. I would like to shift gears with you to extend the question of when women carry, they have these fancy purses with a nice little slot that's secure, or the fanny pack, which I wish would come back for men, but it doesn't. But where do you feel it is best for women to carry the purse, the fanny pack, or literally on their body? And I think I know what you're going to say, but are the others just as effective?
That's a great question, one that comes up a lot. And I think like you said, you know what I'm going to say. It's definitely on your body. There's been countless situations where, well, first off, a woman a lot of times is just targeted because of their purse. So if they're carrying a purse and that's where their tool of self-defense is, that's not a good day if that gets taken, because not only did you lose all your belongings and everything, but you have no way of defending yourself if that person was going to be violent with you, because their goal is to get your purse away. If you carry the tool on your body, first off, it's not usually assumed that a woman is carrying a lethal tool in their body, so you would have the element of surprise, I think, in that regard. But another thing that I bring up with that a lot of people don't consider is how stressed out are are we already with our purse? When we set it down or hook it on the back of our chair at a restaurant, we're always keeping our eye on it to make sure nobody's going to run off with it. But if you have a gun in it, that's even more of a stress.
Sure.
I mean, you can't put it down anywhere, not to mention around your kids or just, at home, even in your safe place, you always have to be aware of it. And to have to go digging into that thing if you needed it, that's quite a predicament.
Yeah, it is. So is it in the belt, in the waist? Because that's a conversation I've had with my wife, with some other women I know who can still carry. That, women, let's face it. I mean, I don't know about, I saw Bo the other day had on the Sansa pants, so you got the relaxed waist. I'm just kidding. But women wear clothes that are tighter generally, and carrying concealed, whether it's, on your back right hip or wherever, can be, you got to plan for it, correct?
Yes, absolutely. There's been some really wonderful holsters that have come out within the past couple of years. I have one myself. It's made by a company that designed a beltless, really pantsless type holster system here, and it's pretty awesome. It's all contained in itself. It's a belt that goes around your waist, and it has the holster attached to it.
Oh, wow.
It's extremely comfortable. I can wear it wearing a dress. I can wear it with leggings. I've taken it to a trampoline park. My 3-year-old calls it a jumpaline park, but and it's so secure. And I don't wear really tight clothing, but I do wear shirts that are a little more form-fitting than what a guy typically would. And I was able to do a front flip, and that thing just stayed put and didn't go anywhere. And it's actually a full-size gun. And I didn't have to have a belt on. I didn't have to have jeans on, and it wasn't bulging or anything. It's just a really nice system, and we sell them at our stores. They're called the Filster Enigma. I'm happy to, if anybody wants to reach out, I can show them that, help them put it together or whatever. But it really changed the market substantially, and guys wear it too. Phil and Vinny and a couple other people at our store also have them and can go bike riding with them or go to the gym or whatever it is that you need to do, and it's just fantastic.
So the next time I see Phil, I should ask him if he's wearing his Spanx?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm trying to figure out how you get it out of your holster if you're wearing a dress. That would be a trick. But anyway, I guess we need to find out more about it. The name of that, the brand of that holster is what again?
It's called a Filster Enigma. So Filster is PHLSTER. So it's Phil without the I.
Well, I did just see the bra holster. Have you know how some women, that are, voluptuous will just, put their phone in their bra and carry their money around in their bra. There's actually a holster mark that you can wear if you have a bra. It clips to it. I don't know how it works, but
I do. I have 2 different kinds of those, and I think that's a very specific niche. It works for some people, not for others. It's not particularly secure for active use if you're, jogging or being athletic. It's just not very secure there. But it does work for some people who are not, bouncing around a whole lot, like somebody I know that wears it to work every day.
Yeah.
It does require a little bit. Well, it requires more training on drawing concepts and reholstering for sure. It can be a little bit of a dangerous situation because of where it's pointed.
Well, a great conversation, Elizabeth, and I know you told me in our interview earlier this week that the range, which has just tons of training program on the website. I would encourage people to go to therangestl.com, click on that training tab, find a class that's coming up. You told me you will specifically are planning a CCW class just for women, correct?
Yeah, you got it. Our first one is on September 10th.
I think I heard something about wine is served afterwards.
No,
I'm like, Mark, we've been trying to get together for a bourbon for a long time. Can we go to the range and then go have a bourbon?
That's girls just want to have guns. After the guns are put away, then they bring out the drinks, right?
Yeah, no, I know. That's what I heard.
Yeah, maybe Bo and I'll come up there and take a class. How about that? That'll be fun.
There you go.
Elizabeth Starks, listen, we appreciate your time today. Great having you on here. Great information, and I hope to see you soon at the range.
Awesome. Thank you so much for having me on again.
Yep. Tell everyone we said hi out there. Appreciate that. Again, therangestl.com. They're out there at 14803 Manchester Road in Baldwin. A great place, great folks, great training. They've got an indoor range downstairs. Love that place, Bo.
Okay, that's part of the two-way part of the show. The great outdoors.